What is going on, people? My name is Callum WM. How are we all doing? Welcome to 2024. Today we are doing the 1 million versus 100 million team rebuild. A filter will pop up on my head and we will try and rebuild each team, comparing who they get. One will have the most expensive, one will have the cheapest, and then we'll put them into FC24 and see how well they do. Let's get into it. So then, which team will we be completing the rebuild under? We're going to be managing Chelsea for this rebuild. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they probably need a rebuild themselves. But anyway, most expensive versus least expensive. Let's do it. So then let's sort out the team for most expensive first. They're going to get Jose Sarr in goal for the most expensive team. It's an okay start. So then Jose Sarr is the goalkeeper for most expensive team. The cheapest goalkeeper, I mean, would that be... So that would be Carl Hein, who's rated 2 million euros on transfer market. Oh, God. And then it's time to move into the right backs then. The most expensive team are going to get, I think that's Trippier. It might be Trippier. Hang on, let me double check. It might be Trippier. It might be Livramento, though. So Newcastle's most expensive right back is Tino Livramento at 35 million euros. So he's coming in. It's like Trippier's surely like too old, you know? Like, he can't be too expensive. Right then, the cheapest right back from West Ham, it's either Reece Johnson or I believe Kufau, but let's check that. The cheapest right back from West Ham was Ben Johnson, 8 million euros. It's not bad, to be fair. It's not bad. But then it's time to move into the centre-backs. The most expensive team, again, why is it always Newcastle? I think that might be Botman. Definitely Botman. All right, Sven Botman, 45 million euros in the most expensive team. Real Madrid's cheapest centre-back. Ooh, that could be a few players actually. Let me check. So then that is going to be Nacho Fernandez, 5 million euros for Real Madrid. You get Real Madrid centre-back, you get Nacho Fernandez. Right, one centre-back down. Who is going to partner Sven Botman on the most expensive team? Why is it just Premier League players? We've had 4 Premier League players so far. Their most expensive centre-back, Guavadal. Has to be. Okay then, and the cheap centre-back then for the team least expensive, Leicester. Oh, this could be bad. This could be like a Wes Morgan, or it could be like, you know, Wout Faes. It's not going to be great, this one. So then going in the cheap team at a 3 million euros is Vestergaard. Vestergaard. We could have had Con Cody, Callum Doyle and Wout Faes, but it's Jan Vestergaard. And then it's time for a left back then for team most expensive. Oh, there we go. Finally, a non-Premier League player. That has to be, I mean, it must be like Alaba. Alaba could surely play that position, but let's have a look. Or Camavinga. Can I take Camavinga? I'm going to take Camavinga, yeah. So then, for the cheap team, they're going to be getting someone from Manchester United. Man United's cheapest left back. It must be Malacia, right? I'll double check it. But well, he's technically on loan, but Serge Reguilon is going to Chelsea for the rebuild. 10 million euros. Then team most expensive, we move into the midfield. Defensive midfielder from Bayern Munich. Oh, it could be a few for like defensive midfielder. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Kimmich. But then Goretzka could also be worth about the same. Let me check. It is going to be Kimmich at 75 million euros. Goretzka was only worth like 40. So you know what? I got it wrong. Hands up. And now it's time for the cheap team. They're going to get Athletic Bilbao's central defensive midfielder. Oh, I don't know. This is very tough for ball knowledge, people, because I don't know values off the top of my head. But here we go for this pronunciation. Peru Nokoslovakia. Butchered it. 1 million euro. He's coming in the team. Yeah. I butchered the pronunciation. I know. Aston Villa midfielder. Oh, most expensive. Could be Jacob Ramsey. I mean, he is young. But the one man I didn't mention, Douglas Luiz at 60 million euros. Ramsey was only worth 42. So, game's the game. Then it's time to see the cheap team's midfielder then. It's going to be from Lille. Mate, I don't have a clue off the top of my head who their cheapest midfielder is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a ball knowledge expert. All right, are you ready for the pronunciation, ladies and gentlemen? Ignacio Miramino. That was actually pretty good, to be fair. He's only worth about 3 million euros. So then to complete out the team for the most expensive midfield, Everton has to be Onana. Amadou Onana. And to complete the midfield for the cheap team, they're going to get from Real Madrid. Ooh, that could be like a Toni Kroos, maybe even a Modric maybe as well. Real Madrid have probably got one of the strongest midfields in the world. What should be someone silly who's like retired? So they could have had Camavinga, they could have had Tchouaméni, they could have had Valverde. They're ending up with Dani Ceballos. It's actually not a bad pick for the cheap team, you know. Dani Ceballos, 8 million euros in the team. So then moving on to team most expensive, we're moving into the wingers. Right winger from Manchester United. It's either Anthony or Sancho, isn't it? It's oh my God, it's got to be Anthony, isn't it? Team most expensive and Anthony shows up. I take that. All right then, Anthony on the wing for team most expensive. For team least expensive, it's going to be a right winger from Wolfsburg. I have no idea who's the cheapest player. They may be 40 years old. I don't know. I'm being honest. Okay, then, of course, the cheapest winger from Wolfsburg is the legendary Vaclav Cerny. 8 million euros. Pronunciation tip-top. All right, then. So, team most expensive. Their left winger is going to be from Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli. A Brazilian right winger, Brazilian left winger. Not a lot of goals this season, but you know what? It's expensive. All right then, and the left winger for team least expensive is going to be from Lazio. I have no idea. So then the cheapest winger from Lazio is Sana Fernandez. 800,000 euros. There you go. Proper cheap that is. He's going to be a top player though, watch. Okay then, who is going to be leading the line for team most expensive? Can we take Bellingham? Can we take him? Because he's technically playing striker. I'm going to call yes, we can take him. Jude Bellingham is going in the team at striker for Real Madrid because they don't actually have a striker, technically, that we can use. Bellingham is going in. So then to finish off the starting 11, the cheap team is going to get a striker from Leipzig. I know they've got a few strikers. Sesko could be an option here, potentially. So we could have had Sesko, we could have had Werner. No. We're going to be ending up today with Yusuf Poulsen, the Danish legend that he is. 7 million euros. Okay then, and now obviously to complete out the bench, the 5 most expensive players from West Ham will be completing the bench. A goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and a striker from West Ham. I mean, that's cooking. And then completing the subs for the least expensive team is going to be from Atletico Madrid. So Atletico's cheapest 5 players in goalkeeper, defence, midfield and attack. You know, that might not actually be too bad. They might be able to rotate in potentially. Okay then, so the teams have been built. In the end, the most expensive team came to 974 million euros, including the West Ham bench. And the cheap teams, you know what? I thought it would be a lot worse, but 78.6 million with, you know, Azpilicueta coming back to Chelsea as well. So now it's time to put these teams into FC24 and see how they do in a simulated season. And so then the Chelsea most expensive team is set up. It doesn't like Bellingham in the striker, but you know what? He's playing there. He's going to cook there, I'm telling you right now. But you can see the bench there looking saucy. I think some of these bench players are going to start coming on as well. You may see some other players move, like Kimmich might move to right back potentially as well. But this team will, I reckon a top 4 finish maybe. I don't know. I'm not convinced where it's going to finish. But the bench looks strong at least. The West Ham bench might save this team. Let's sim to the end of the season. So then the season is done for the most expensive team. Let's see where they finished in the table then. 5th place, 67 points. Do you know what? That's actually not too bad. Spurs won the league. Spurs winning the league, but 5th place for the most expensive team. 20 wins, 7 draws and 11 losses. I mean, it's better than current Chelsea, you know. It's better than that. So let's see how we did in other competitions. Let's have a look at the FA Cup. We did not win the FA Cup. The final's not even happened yet. How far did we go? Come on, surely we went a bit further, didn't we? Where are we? 4th round? No. 3rd round? No. 3rd round. I think we got knocked out in the 3rd round. Let me move myself over. We lost to Spurs in the 3rd round. We lost to Spurs in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Okay, that's not the greatest. What about the Carabao Cup? Spurs won the Carabao Cup as well. Spurs are on for a treble near enough. Spurs are going to win a treble. When did we go out? We went out to Liverpool in the 4th round. So Spurs are in the final of the FA Cup. They're in the final of the Carabao Cup and they won the league. They're on for a treble. Oh my God. What about players? Let's have a look at our players then. Let's see who was the best player in the squad then. We'll go to stats. All right, the most goals then was Martinelli. Martinelli with 23 goals and 6 assists. Anthony, 11 goals and 5 assists. I mean, he cooked. He went up by 2 ratings. Kimmich, 10 goals from central defensive midfield as well. Kudos off the bench. Jude Bellingham playing the striker role. Only 6 goals and 7 assists, but he did go up by 2 ratings overall. And who was our most assister? I mean, it must have been Bellingham. Yeah, Bellingham got the most assists. You really can't complain. Bellingham, I thought he would cook a little bit more. But now, let's jump in and see how good the cheap team was. And so then up next, we are moving into the cheap team. I mean, this team, it's actually not bad. It's not the worst. I was expecting a lot worse. But I mean, the defense is pretty strong. We got Azpilicueta and Savic to come off the bench as well. The strike force, you know what? It is what it is. It can't be worse than Nicholas Jackson at the present minute. And then, I mean, Reguilon in defense as well. It's actually not too bad. The midfield, Ceballos is going to have to carry the midfield overall. But let's sim the season, see how far they go. I think anything above a 10th place finish, and we're cooking. And so then the least expensive team is done. This season is over. I mean, it's not looking good. Newcastle won the league apparently. Okay, where did we finish? 12th. There we go. That's pretty much like current Chelsea, you know? Not relegated. 43 points. What was that? What's it looking like? It's 11 wins, 10 defeats, and 17 losses. Man City finished 7th. Newcastle did win the league. But you know what? We'll take that. 12th place. It's a bit like Chelsea at the present minute, you know? And I mean, the team was pretty much the cheapest team we could build. All right, then let's see how far we went in the FA Cup then. That is a weird final for the FA Cup, by the way. Leicester versus Aston Villa. Okay, how far did we go? Surely we made it further than the 4th round, maybe? 3rd round? We got knocked out. Did we get knocked out in the 2nd round?
Ignore this man for a second as he goes on about finishing in the 2nd round. We got knocked out in the 3rd round. I didn't see that it said replay. Knocked out in the 3rd round.
Let's see how far then we went in the Carabao Cup. Surely it wasn't. Okay, we went past the 2nd round. That's good, at least. We went past the 3rd round. Okay. We lost in the 4th round. We lost to Birmingham in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. What more can you say, really? So, I mean, we went same in the Carabao Cup. We went less in the FA Cup. And we also got less points in the Premier League. All right, I am intrigued to see who carried us throughout the season because I don't know where the goals were going to come from, to be honest. Right, let's have a little look then. Who played the most games? It was... Oh, Ceballos played the most games. All right, who got our most goals then? Paulson got the most goals with 12 goals in 34 games and 2 assists. Vitolo got 10 goals as well, the 66 rated 34-year-old. Varela, who wasn't even in the team but came off the bench apparently. Fernandez as well. You got Ceballos as well, got 5 goals. And then how many assists? Witsel got the most assists with 4 assists in Ceballos. It seems like we were carried by Ceballos, I can't lie. And then the most clean sheets was from Savic. 7 clean sheets in near enough 40 games. Do you know how bad that is? That is actually terrible. Like, I can't lie, that is terrible. Who's our highest rated player? Is it still Savic with 80 rated? He went down by 2 ratings. Okay, it's not too bad, I guess. It's still pretty bad, yeah. But that's what it was expected from the cheap team.
So then, I guess the lesson here today is that if you are a Chelsea fan or you play as Chelsea in career mode, it's probably not going to go well if you have a team that's worth $1 billion or a team that's worth 75 million. So you never know what could happen, you know? I think probably the better team, the more expensive team did get further, but with that team only to get 5th, we are in trouble. We are in big trouble. Okay, but you know what? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I'm looking to do more long form content, so please enjoy it over 2024. Other than that, guys, peace out, have a good one, and I'll see you later.